it was fun, and it had ups and downs, and literally all around.
Yeah, as most movies adaptations, is not as good as the book, but it's still a very solid movie.
I know you have a list over there, Eric, of
Yeah.
of things you didn't like about the movie. It's more of a list of differences than what.
Yeah, list of differences.
You can maybe guess what was inside, but I'm telling you, you're not going to guess it because it was just that kind of movie.
I didn't think they were actually going to do that until the scene when like they're up on the roof. I'm like, oh, they're doing it. You see him fighting some ninjas at the end, which I don't know if that's the hand.
And I love Ryan Gosling. He can do no harm. I've loved him since The Notebook. He's been my man crush since.
I've loved him since the Mickey Mouse Club.
Since Goosebumps, you know.
Hey man, you like and subscribe yet?
Nah, not yet, man.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
Cinema Rolls Podcast.
Welcome to the Cinema Rolls Podcast. I am Josh. That is my brother, Eric. We are the Cinema Rolls Podcast, a podcast dedicated to watching and studying film. Today, we will be discussing and reviewing Project Hail Mary. Came out this year, 2026, rated PG-13, has a runtime of 2 hours and 36 minutes, and it was directed by Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, written by Drew Goddard and Andy Weir, stars Ryan Gosling, Sandra Hüller, and James Ortiz. Would you like to give them a quick synopsis, brother?
So, Rylan Grace is a junior high science teacher who wakes up from a coma on a spaceship, and he has to remember who he is, where he is, and what he is doing there.
Well said. Well said. Okay. Real quick before getting into reviews, I just want to let you guys know that Josh, myself, I fucked up. It's on me. I fucked up. It's on me. Yesterday, we already recorded this, and I didn't have the right microphones set up in my settings properly, and my audio didn't get recorded at all. So we're re-recording this. So if we sound a bit unenthusiastic about some of the stuff we're saying, it's because we've already heard it once before, and we're redoing this. So with that, Eric, would you like to give them your review of the movie?
So, I enjoyed this movie. I don't want to be like cliche, stereotypical as other book fans, but yeah, as most movies adaptations, is not as good as the book. But it's still a very solid movie. It's beautiful. It's shot well. Everyone in it does great. And yeah, Ryan Gosling's awesome. Sandra Hüller does a good job. I do like her character. They didn't really change her, but I think in the movie she does show a little bit more of a human side to her than in the book.
Right.
But yeah, it's very well made. A lot of fun to watch in the theater with the large crowd. Hear everyone's reactions to things, and yeah, it's a good movie.
Agreed.
Yeah.
This movie, I think, is my favorite movie that we've watched this year. It was very good. I saw it in IMAX with my friend and coworker Randall, and we both enjoyed it quite a bit. It was very well made. It's very well shot, very well written. The characters are fully fleshed out and very well rounded. Yeah, it was beautiful, and it was funny, and it was fun, and it had ups and downs, and literally all around because it's in space and it's in zero gravity, and yeah, and the the cinematography, like I said, is very beautiful, and it kind of plays with that whole space idea of zero gravity, the whole up is down, left is right kind of thing, you know. And yeah, I loved it a lot, actually. More than I thought I was going to. Not that I had low expectations going into this movie. I had medium high expectations, I guess, and was even better than what I expected. I didn't read the book. I almost bought it on multiple occasions. I picked it up twice in Barnes and Noble on two separate occasions, and I held it for quite a bit of time, and then I decided not to buy it. But I do want to read it now because it seems like this movie was really good, and you're saying the book was even better. So I need to give it a read. I don't like to get too into spoilers right away, but I do want to talk a little bit more about why I think the characters were very well fleshed out and very well written. The alien is
Rocky.
Rocky. He is he's my favorite character. He's amazing, and his design is very well done. I like that he is not like your stereotypical alien. When you go for a scary alien, you usually go for like arachnid insect looking alien that's like slimy and gross and scary. You go for any aliens made by Disney, and they're all big eyed and cute, sometimes fuzzy, and you want to give them a big hug because they like to make merchandise out of them and sell them to your kids. But this alien was neither of those. It was very hard edged. You don't even can't really see where his face is at. He looks so foreign, and he sees the world via echolocation. So his whole character design is kind of based off of this whole echolocation idea, and I love it. It's awesome. Even like I said, I was saying to you yesterday, Eric, the notches in his arm when he says goodbye. I'd imagine that those notches are cut into each enchiridion. Is that there?
Iridian.
Sorry, I was thinking of Adventure Time. Every iridion probably they probably cut into their stone arms. So I imagine each arm has their own set of notches and their own pattern. So that each goodbye sounds probably different, which is beautiful. Like that's such a cool design. Even though his spaceship is operated via sound, super cool. Loved it. And then Ryan's character, I love that he is a middle school teacher because that fits perfectly for a character like him who has to now communicate with an alien who doesn't speak his language, and he has to be able to communicate and work with this alien without being able to just tell him what he needs. He needs to break it down Barney style for him so that he can understand him, and vice versa. And yeah, him being a school teacher, I think, gives him the credentials and ability and patience to do that. So very, very well written characters.
It's funny you said Disney alien characters are cute and have big eyes. You want to give them a hug.
Yeah.
I mean, they describe Rocky in the book, right? But after first listening to the book, I was excited for the movie to come out because I'm still hoping that they release some kind of like plushie of Rocky.
Mm-hmm.
I want that, and I want to.
I know. I was thinking about how cool it'd be to have like a little Rocky sculpture. Like imagine, like I feel like it'd be pretty easy to 3D model him. I was thinking about maybe 3D modeling him and 3D printing him and painting him and stuff. Be sweet.
I think some people have already actually.
I could see it.
Made some 3D models.
Yeah. Be pretty cool. He's a cool character.
Yeah. He is real cool. I like Rocky a lot.
Yeah. Do you want to move into? I know you have a list over there, Eric, of things you didn't like about the movie. It's more of a list of differences than more.
List of differences.
But
things I didn't like, things I did like that they added.
You want to get into that now, or you want to wait till after reviews? Not reviews, ratings. Sorry.
We could do ratings first.
All right, let's do ratings real quick, and then we'll get into all the fun differences and fun facts, all in one.
Okay.
What would you rate this movie?
I am giving this movie a 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. Right on. I am gonna go with a 9. I really liked this movie. I think it might even make my favorite movies list. I have a favorite movies list on Letterboxd. I might put this movie on there because it was just that good. I just really liked it a lot. And I love Ryan Gosling. He can do no harm. I've loved him since The Notebook. He's been my man crush since.
I've loved him since the Mickey Mouse Club.
Since Goosebumps, you know. But yeah, he's my guy. He's been my guy for a minute. Last night I asked you about why 8, and I think it was mainly because of the differences from the book and the movie, right?
Yeah. I think had I not read the book, I would love this movie more. I would probably give it a 9. And I was kind of thinking if I should give it a 9 or not when I was watching the movie and after. But not that the movie's bad. Obviously, I loved it. But I don't know. Maybe they're just more of an experience when you read a book.
Yeah.
As opposed to just watching a movie.
It feels more personal because it's coming from not that it's coming from your head, but like the visuals are coming from your head. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And you learn a little bit more about each character, so you kind of spend more time with them, and so it's a little more intimate in a way.
Yeah.
So I think that's mainly what I was missing from the film, because they did cut out a lot. Like they had cut out a lot of the science stuff and them explaining and teaching each other and learning from each other. That I really enjoyed, because that's when you get to know the characters and learn about them. And so I think that's why I give the movie an 8. But it's not to say this movie is bad. It's actually really good, and you should go see it.
Agreed.
Yeah.
That being said, let's get into those differences.
Yes.
And what those differences were.
Okay. So here's my list. So when Grace is first recruited, in the movie you see he's recruited at his school, like right after he taught a class. And when he was teaching the class, the children were asking him about the astrophage, because it was announced on the news that they found all these little black dots inside the petroleum line, and they wanted to know about it because he's a science teacher. But in the book, he was kind of recruited before that, and he was able to go back to his class and teach one more time. But in the movie and in the book, he's hesitant to tell the kids what astrophage is and what's really happening, because he doesn't want to scare them. But I feel like in the book, he has this knowledge because he's actually personally worked with the astrophage. He's experimented on it. He knows what it is.
Right.
And he's actually the person to name astrophage in the book. So I think that just gave him more of a reason to not want to tell the kids what was going on.
You know when you said that, even last night I was kind of thinking that after you told me that. But when you said that he named it astrophage, when I was watching the movie, I actually kind of thought about for a second. Because I really like the name astrophage, but also too throughout the story he names everything, right? Even with Rocky, like he's like, we got to give you a name, right? He names it Rocky. Even the planet, he's like, we got to give it a name, and he names it after Rocky's mate, and then he calls it Adrian. He's constant. And then even with Rocky's stuff that he makes out of the Xenonite. Is it a night? Is that what it's called?
Xenonite, yeah.
Xenonite, and then the stuff that they collect to kill the astrophage.
The Talmiba.
Yeah. So he's constantly naming everything throughout the movie, and even with the Talmiba, right? It's like a half of a word mixed with another amoeba, right? It's like he's connecting two different words. And same with astrophage. Astrophage is the same way. So I was thinking that when I watched the movie, I was like, I feel like that is a name he would give it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And I guess he did.
it is because one, it's a name that makes sense. It literally means like sun eater, right? Like
Yeah. Like Star,
astrophagy.
Star Eater or something, right?
Yeah. And that's a name that he would come up with because that's kind of how he named things. That's what he does. And in the book, he makes the point to say, just be happy that I'm not naming things after myself because, you know, a lot of scientists do that.
Yeah. That's fair.
And also in the movie, he asked Rocky what his name was before they went to
the planet.
that planet, right? Which they end up calling Adrian. And so Rocky, in the movie, Rocky tells him the name. In the book, they go to the planet first, and he tells Rocky, "You discovered the planet, you get to name it." And Rocky doesn't know what to name it. That's kind of where the joke, was it medium rough came from?
Yeah.
Where he's like, that's what
it
sounds like. And so he tells like, what would that like mean? Like, you know, give it a name.
Yeah.
And so he gives the name, and it's the name of his mate.
Yeah.
And he, and so that's when he says, well, what would Rocky's mate's name be? And so in English, he says that's Adrian.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So it's a little different when they do it.
Yeah.
It's a little more beautiful.
Yeah. I was gonna ask too. In the movie, right, when he says his name and when he says his mate's name, it's like crazy long. It's like almost like a song, right?
Yeah.
But in the book, and I guess you wouldn't know if it's written out that way because you listen to it, right? Like an audiobook.
Yeah.
But even in I'm sure the audiobook, the motherfucker has to read it, right? So what is he? Is it spelled out like how he sings it or how?
You know, I haven't got, because I have the physical book. I'm actually reading that.
Yeah.
But I haven't got to the part where he meets Rocky.
Uh-huh.
I'm assuming in the book they probably like put out like some notes, like musical notes, because in the audiobook they actually play like notes.
Piano or something.
They play music. Yeah, like I don't know if it's piano or like a keyboard because it's a little electrical.
Oh, okay. So in the inaudible or whatever you're listening to on the audiobook, it actually plays out like little notes.
Yeah,
okay.
It plays out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then Rylan makes he writes the software to translate the what Rocky's saying. So he makes software that recognizes what notes Rocky is, you know, singing, I guess, in a way. And then they figure out what that word is, and then he puts it in his computer, and then the computer starts translating for him. But at a point, he starts being able to just fully understand Rocky, so he doesn't really need the computer anymore.
Right, yeah. Which makes sense, too, like, because, like, as he's saying it, it's being translated, he's hanging out with them so much, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure he's picking up on words here and there, you know?
Yeah. Let's get back to my list.
Yeah.
They didn't mention the amnesia, or they didn't. So I don't think it's still possible that that's what they did. But yeah, in the book, at the end of the movie, and at the end of the book too, is when you find out that he didn't volunteer to go on this mission. He was forced to go. And when they ask him to, because what happens is two people, they had a science officer that was going to go, and then a backup science officer in case something happened with the first one, and both of them died in an
explosion
accident. Yeah. And so they're like, well, we need someone, and you're the guy. And he's like, no, I'm not. And they give him time to, you know, decide whether or not he wants to go, and he decides he is not going. And she's like, too bad, you're going. And you can't. He's like, you can't do this. You're going to kill me. I don't want to die. He's like pleading with her, and she's like, no. She's like, Rylan, you are a coward, but you are a good person. And so even though you're going to be mad, once you wake up, you're going to do the job.
Damn. Yeah.
And yeah, it's messed up, but you know, she had to do what she had to do to save the world.
True. And he did it.
And so he did.
Yeah.
Spoilers. It's a happy ending. But yeah, so what they do is, first off, they put him in a coma early before he even gets on the ship, so that the other people don't know that he didn't want to go. Um, but also, they give him a drug that would make him forget everything that happened. And so that's part of the narrative of the story, is that while he's on the ship, he's slowly learning things and remembering things. And that's why like it cuts back and forth between him in space doing his thing, and then uh, back to when he was learning about the astrophage and um, all this stuff, you know.
Mm.
So yeah, that's one thing I liked about the book, is that um, the narrative was a little better as far as why it's cutting back and forth and why he doesn't remember.
Right. Yeah.
Because he has amnesia.
Yeah, and they did skip through that really fast to the beginning about him not like him trying to figure out who he was, and not that he fully fleshed it out right away, but like he did kind of like go through a period where he was like drinking the vodka and like kind of lost it as in the ship a bit, trying to figure out what the heck's going on. But then at some point you see him see like the kids in the plaque or whatever, and he's like, oh yeah, like okay. And then he slowly starts getting memories back throughout the movie. But yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And with the amnesia, they also didn't mention the coma resistance.
Oh, that's right.
So the pool of people that can go on this mission have to be people that wouldn't die while they're in a coma on the way to Cal City, because they're not freezing people in this movie. They're putting them in a coma for a while until they get to the star. And only, according to this book, I don't know if this is real science.
Pseudoscience people.
Yeah, I don't know. But only certain people have this coma resistance, where they can like go into a coma and be able to wake up just fine years later. And they assume that it's from our ancestry during the evolution, when at some point we needed to hibernate.
Yeah.
So they're saying that like kind of stayed with some people, and they can do it. They can hibernate, go into a coma, and other people can't. So that narrowed down the pool of people that can actually go on the mission, because they need people that can like do the science and do the work, pilot the ship, and also be able to survive the trip to the star.
Right.
Which is one of the reasons why they forced Riley and Grace to go, because like you're legit like the only person that can do it.
Yeah.
Oh, this one.
And they secretly they secretly found that out, right? They like while he was like,
yeah, they Pratt secretly tested him, so he didn't know that he was coma resistant until they're like, "You're going."
Right.
In the movie, when after they visit Adrian and they get the amoeba, they have to eject some engines because the astrophage was escaping. Rylan hits his head, like kind of gets knocked out, and Rocky leaves his little bubble to help him and to save him. And when that happens, Rocky gets hurt because he can't be in our atmosphere. And so when Rylan comes to, Rocky is like asleep. He doesn't know if he's dead or he's just sleeping. And but he noticed like this black like soot coming out of him, and so he blew all that stuff out, thinking that it would help him. But when Rocky comes to soon after, he's like, "You almost killed me." But what I liked about that in the book is that, because in the movie he just kind of like hangs out and just like
waits for him,
waits and sees if his friend comes back. But in the book, he actually like tries to do something because that's his friend. He doesn't want him to die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when you told me that too. I was like, yeah, I remember when I was watching it, I was thinking like I would have probably tried to like resuscitate him somehow, you know, like
somehow, yeah, like that's your only friend in this crazy, situation you're in. The whole thing with him watching him sleep, Iridians, they don't know how long they sleep for. Like it could be. Like it varies. They don't know how long they're going to be asleep. They just sleep until they wake up.
Yeah.
And so it's custom for them to watch each other sleep in case a predator were to come by and try to eat them or kill them
Right.
somehow. I don't know. So that's like their customs that they watch each other sleep. And so
Yeah.
Grace thought that was weird at first, but he kind of grew accustomed to it. And at times when Rocky wasn't there to watch him sleep, he's like, it kind of feels weird with Rocky not being here. You know? Yeah.
I did think that was kind of a tearjerker when he was in this little thing, his little
Yeah.
Xenonite bubble or whatever he stays in, and he goes up to him and he's like he sees that he's still alive and he's like I'll watch you sleep, bud. I'll watch you sleep, buddy.
Yeah.
I thought that was a little tearjerker, at least for me.
Yeah. And then Rocky's eating habits.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, in the book, apparently it's like really gross and disgusting. And Rocky and Iridians, they don't eat in front of each other. It's a really private thing. And so he was really weirded out when Rylan wanted to watch him eat, but he eventually let him because he's like, they're always like, for science, we got to learn. Yeah, so they were constantly learning about each other's cultures and stuff. And so that's why Rocky let him do it. But in the movie, it was just kind of like a joke. And he's like, this is how we eat. And he's like, shove something in. It's kind of weird. But yeah, in the book, that's a private thing that Iridians do. They don't eat in front of people.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy the way he ate, so it makes sense.
Yeah. And the scene with the tape measure is another thing that changed. In the book, in their little tubes that connecting the two spaceships, they didn't have gravity. In the movie, there's gravity, so they're able to walk. But in the book, there was no gravity, so they were floating around. And Rocky, as we know, is blind. He doesn't have eyes. He sees everything through echolocation. And so when Rylan gives him the tape measure, he has no idea what it is. He's just playing with it. And in zero gravity, what he would do is he would pull it out and let go and watch it like snap back and spin around and float around in zero gravity. And also when he's like waiting for Rylan to do stuff on his side of the tube, Rocky gets impatient and he's just like bouncing around and floating around on his side, which I thought was funny in the book, but we didn't get to see that in the movie.
Yeah.
And that's everything I didn't like. But here are the additions that I did like. First off, Carl, which in the book, I think it's Steve. I was just watching it or reading it.
Oh, okay.
While I was waiting.
So they changed the name?
Yeah, so they changed the name, and there's more of him. So in the book, at the beginning, there's a guard that's watching him while he's doing his science stuff, and then Steve, that's really nice, and another guard that's not nice. In the movie, the guy's name is Carl, and what I liked about that is that you see them bond and have a little bromance, which is nice, and it also just kind of shows like how likable a guy Rylan is, and is like a precursor for his friendship that he has with Rocky.
Right. True. Yeah, and I really like their little montage too when they go to the store.
Yeah, when they go to the store.
Yeah. It's fun.
Yeah. And then Strat's singing scene, that was cool. Like I was saying, in the movie, she is a little more humanized. In the book, she's very stern, very strict, very like, I don't care kind of attitude. She literally tells him at one point, she's like, I don't care, I was just being nice. And she asked how he was. So that's just like who she is. But like in the movie, you do see a little bit more of a human side to her. And that is ultimately shown in the scene where she sings karaoke. And then the room with all the screens where Rylan shows Rocky movies and beaches and human cities and stuff. That wasn't in the book. So I thought that was cool because I think people that are leaving Earth and not going to be able to go back, they would want a room like that.
For sure. I want a room like that. I'm not even in space.
It would be cool. It would be cool. And then Rocky's little device that he made so that he can see what's on the screens. wasn't in the book, but I thought it was a good addition for the movie and makes sense since movies are such a visual medium.
Yeah.
That we would need something like that, and Rocky would need something like
Yeah.
that.
Super cool. Honestly, I really like
Yeah.
that little device he made.
Yeah. And that's it for the book to film differences.
Ooh, golly. Sorry, guys. It's late over here.
Yeah.
So do you want to just move on to fun facts?
Yeah, you can.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay. So first fun fact. Ryan Gosling was the first person to receive the manuscript.
Nice. Yeah, I remember saying I feel like he was probably the person that they had in mind probably immediately for this movie because he's very well casted. He's very perfect for
Yes.
this role.
He is. Yeah. And then the puppeteer, so the main puppeteer that was doing Rocky and is also Rocky's voice, James Ortiz, said that his goal was to make sure that Ryan never felt alone.
That's very sweet of him. He and you said he was a puppeteer prior to this?
Yeah, he was a puppeteer prior to this. He had done acting and other things. I think he had only recently, in the past like couple years before, had really gotten into puppeteering.
That's pretty cool. Do you know do you have anything else he puppeteered that we might know of?
And I don't know of anything we would know of, but apparently he was doing like bit shows in New York.
Oh, okay. The Woodsman. Nick Chopper.
Yeah, that is about the Tin Man in The Wizard of Oz.
Uh-huh. Very cool. Gotcha.
Ryan and James had to use earwigs, little in-ear pieces, because they couldn't hear each other through the xenonite.
In quotes, xenonite, probably like plexiglass or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Xenonite isn't real. Xenon's a gas. It's not a solid. In the book, it can be solid, apparently, from this other planet. But, yeah. And then Lionel, the guy who plays Carl, was only supposed to be on set for a day, but ended up being there for a month because he was fun to have around and they kept writing more things for his character to do.
Yeah, he seems like a pretty cool guy. We said last night, he's in The Bear, and he plays a pretty cool, chill, funny character in that show.
Sandra Hüller wasn't supposed to sing, but Ryan encouraged her after hearing her sing in her room, and he encouraged her to sing, and she was reluctant at first, but she agreed and chose to sing the Harry Styles song "Sign of the Times."
And she killed it. She's a great singer.
She did. She is.
And I like that scene a lot as well. It's a very good scene.
It's a real good
and
scene.
That is probably the scene that really humanizes her in the movie.
I know it's super early in the year, so I don't know if the movie is going to be in talks for Oscars.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't be surprised if she gets Best Supporting Actress nomination.
Yeah, she did really good.
No. James Ortiz brought in his own hand puppet for his audition.
Pretty cool. I guess it's has to be used. It's big enough to fit on his hand, I guess. I was going to ask you how big it was, but it makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, so he actually shows it in the interview I watched. Drew Barrymore's show. She had like a whole thing with the whole cast.
Oh, okay, cool.
Well, yeah, so he has a puppy. I'll use this hand. And he had basically Rocky's body's here, and then the 4 fingers were his limbs.
Like on some Adam Family shit.
Kind of.
Thing. All right, isn't that what it's called in Adam's Family? Or am I tripping?
Yes.
Thing? Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the thing. This thing.
Thing.
The thingy.
The Thing is another guy.
yeah. The Thing is a different thing.
Yeah. And then James also hired the team puppeteers for Rocky since it's a big puppet that needed multiple people.
Right.
and he named them the Rocketeers.
Nice. Cool name.
Yeah. Project Hail Mary was shot at Shepperton Studios, which is the same studio Ridley Scott shot Alien.
Ooh, multiple aliens on that place, on that set, the location, the studio. What is it? What did you say? Sorry. It was a studio?
Shepperton Studios.
Okay. Wow.
And last fact here, Ryan said that this felt like the potential to make a core memory film. That it would make a huge impact on you and would be a shared experience for people.
Well, he wasn't wrong about that. I feel like that is very true for this movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, people are loving this movie. My theater was pretty much sold out.
I want to show it to the kiddo. I feel like you should love it.
Yeah. And if I saw this movie at like age 10 or around there, would love this movie.
Yeah.
It'd be probably one of my best favorite movies like of all time.
Yeah, it's really good. Okie dokes. Well, let's move on to recommendations. Right, you're all good. You don't have any more fun facts?
I don't have any more fun facts.
Recommendations.
That's all I have written down. I probably have more that might come up while we're talking.
Cool. Sounds good. Let's move on to recommendations. What you got for me?
Okay. So my recommendations. First off, I just mentioned Drew Barrymore. It was brought up in a few of the interviews I watched. E.T. the Extra-Terrestrial.
Nice.
I'm actually wearing E.T. socks right now.
What do you know?
Was not planned for. It just kind of happened. E.T. I love that movie. It's about a boy befriending an alien, and he has to help him get home. So definitely similarities there.
If you guys haven't seen E.T., come on. What are you guys doing?
If you have not seen E.T., you need to watch E.T. and then go to, I think there's only in Florida, right? I think they got rid of it in California. But go to Universal Studios and ride the E.T. ride. I'd love that ride.
You need to E.T. go home and watch E.T., all right?
Yeah. My second recommendation is 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Nice. Like I told you, I haven't seen that movie, and I really want to.
It's a good movie. It's long. It's kind of slow, kind of boring to parts.
Yeah, which is part of the reason I think I haven't watched it yet, because that's what everyone tells me. But I'm like, I love Stanley Kubrick, and I know of a lot of different scenes in the movie because it's constantly referenced. So just something I have to watch one day.
Yeah, if you love Stanley Kubrick, if you like space, watch the movie.
That's me.
Good. It's very well made. And yeah, all the space scenes, everything is so well shot. It's beautiful. And like I was saying, it was made and released a year before we actually went to the moon. And it's crazy how accurate they got all the space stuff in the movie. So
yeah, it's pretty insane.
Yeah. It's because he filmed the moon landing, but that's another thing.
Dun, dun, dun. And that's the last. This is the last episode you ever heard from this, because we're gonna disappear, guys.
I don't actually believe Kubrick filmed the moon landing.
I do.
I think they had him on standby in case they needed him to do it.
Right. True. Yeah. There's probably like a version where he shot it already, just in case it didn't work out.
It's in a vault somewhere. And my last recommendation is Enemy Mine.
Nice. Last night I had not heard of this, and
I don't think a lot of people have heard of this movie, to be honest.
And after you telling me about it, I was like, "Whoa, this seems pretty cool and pretty fun."
Yeah. Stars Dennis Quaid and humans and another alien race are like at war with each other. Him and this alien crash land on another planet, and they end up having to help each other so that they can survive.
And the sets look very 80s, very dark fantasy 80s, but set in space. And I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Very interesting movie. Uh, yeah, I had a friend recommend it to me, and it was on sale, so I got it and watched it. I personally didn't care for the movie too much myself, but I think it's a good recommendation for this movie just because it's guy and the alien becoming friends,
Yeah, pretty similar.
And it's an 80s movie, space movie. It's fun. Don't take it too seriously.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. My turn?
Your turn.
Let's do it. The first movie I have on this list, which by the way, I have like 5 or 6 movies, so buckle up, guys. The first movie I have on this list is one of my favorite movies of all time. Earlier, I was saying I have a letterbox list of all my favorite movies, and I tried one day to rank them, which was very hard to do. I wouldn't recommend doing it at all. It was quite the task, and this movie ended up around, I think, top 5, around there. This movie is Arrival, and it's directed by Denis Villeneuve, the same guy that did the Dune movies. You know, that's how everyone recognizes him now. But he has a lot of other great movies in his filmography, like this movie. And it, instead of us discovering aliens out in space, aliens come to us, and they have to go get this linguist who is a college professor. So kind of like this movie where he's a teacher, but only he's a middle school teacher. She's a professor, and she has to kind of decode this alien language so they can understand what they're doing here on our planet. And in doing so, you discover a lot about the aliens and how they view life and view time and existence. And you also learn a lot about her as well. And it's very good. It's very good. If you have not watched the movie, I highly recommend. It's a very beautiful film. A little on the sad side of the emotional spectrum, but I love it. I love it. Next movie I have on here is also on my favorite movies list. It is Interstellar, and it's directed by Christopher Nolan as Matthew McConaughey. I think everybody knows about this film nowadays because all the scores have gone viral on TikTok.
All the videos of him crying to different things.
Yeah, and all the memes, right? Yeah. I personally like they didn't get as popular. I personally liked the memes what it was showing the guy like waiting there forever. Like it was like using him as like as a joke for like when you're waiting for, I don't know, certain people for doing certain things or whatever, right? And he comes back and he's like all old. That one didn't take off as much, but I liked that one. Those ones, those are funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think I need to explain this movie, but this movie reminded me, it's a great space film. It's very well shot. And also to the parts where he's trying to communicate with his daughter via gravity on like the time strings, pretty much. It's like time.
It was called the Tesseract.
In the Tesseract. There you go. Yeah. It reminded me of how Rocky operates his ship with sound, messing with the little strings. So yeah. And then the next movie I have in here is The Martian, which is another Andy Weir book adapted into a film, and it has Matt Damon in it, and he's stranded on Mars, and he has to find his figure out a way to get back home with the limited resources he has there on Mars. And it's good. Andy Weir is obviously great at writing characters who are smarter than all of us and competent, and he's got it right in the right man for the job type of character. Good movie. If you haven't seen it, highly recommend. The next movie I have on here is, I think, a movie everybody forgot about, but it's called Ad Astra, and it stars Brad Pitt as an astronaut who is on a space mission to investigate a threat to the universe and uncover the truth about his father who disappeared 30 years ago. I remember watching this movie when it first came out, And then I also too kind of forgot all about it. And then right now, when I was thinking of, not right now, but when we watched the movies, we had to come up with recommendations. I was thinking of recommendations for this movie after I had watched it, and this was a movie that popped into my head after however many years I had watched it. It came out in 2019, so it's been a while. It has 6.5 stars here on IMDb, and I think maybe the movie just wasn't that great. I remember it being shot very well. I remember it being very visually beautiful, like nice to look at, you know? So you want to check that out? Go for it. Pretty cool. The next movie I have on here is a movie I never finished. I only got halfway through it, and then I just never came back to it. Also has a bad rating on IMDb, so maybe it's not that great, but it does involve a man in space it's called Spaceman, and it is pretty much Adam Sandler, who is a lonely spaceman who's embarked on like this solo mission, and he's been out there for a while, having relationship issues with his significant other back home, and he is feeling mighty lonely up there in the tin can, and he encounters an alien, which I think, like I said, I didn't finish it, but I would think what it was alluding to, I think it might have been like a manifestation of his own psyche at that moment, and he kind of almost in a way created an imaginary friend to kind of deal with his problems, and because it was almost kind of like the alien was being a therapist in a way, but like I said, I never finished it, so I don't know. But him befriending an alien and kind of being alone in space is what made me think of this movie. And then the last movie I have on here is The Nice Guys. Not a space movie, but it does have Ryan Gosling playing a competent fool type of character, which I think Ryan Gosling is great at playing these types of characters, which is why I think he's perfectly cast in Project Hail Mary. But in Project Hail Mary, I think he's leaning more towards the competent side than the bumbling fool side. And in this movie, he's leaning more towards the bumbling fool side than the competent side. And you can kind of see how well he plays both of those types of characters. And you can see his range and his comedic timing in both of these movies. So that's why this is on the list. And Eric, I know you said you've never seen it, but you need to watch it because it's really good. And I think you really like it. And it's a very good depiction of Los Angeles in the 1970s. At least I think so. I wasn't there in the 1970s, but I think it makes sense to me. You know.
There's a movie that I thought of. It's not really similar premise, but it's a fun movie. It also has a bumbling fool. It's called Rocketman. Did you ever watch this movie?
Yeah, I did. I actually did in school. Actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
With Harlan Williams.
Yeah, I think so.
I thought that movie was so funny as a kid.
Was it this one? Oh, you know what? I might be thinking of The Rocketeer.
Oh, The Rocketeer. That is different. I haven't seen The Rocketeer.
Hold on. Let me just solve this confusion right now. Oh, okay. Okay, it has Harlan. You said Harlan Williams, yeah?
Harlan Williams, yeah.
Yo, I don't know why. I think I have seen this movie. There's a monkey in it. This is not the movie I watched in school. I definitely watched The Rocketeer in school. This is not what I was thinking of.
Yeah, he's just like this fool who loves space and somehow gets the chance to go to Mars. And even though he shouldn't be there,
He looks funny.
Somehow ends up. Yeah, it's real funny. I like that movie a lot. But yeah, it's not as serious. Obviously, it's full on comedy.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's a good, fun space movie.
Nice.
There's a thing in the movie. He wakes up like he doesn't fully like freeze for whatever reason, so he's awake while everyone else is frozen on their way to Mars, and he uses all of their food to paint like this masterpiece on the ceiling.
Nice. Reminds me of what's that movie? The Seth Rogen movie, the Apocalypse one.
Oh, this is
the end. Yeah.
Yeah.
Danny McBride. He just like cooks them all giant breakfast.
He's eating all our food.
Using the water bottles to wash his feet in the sink.
No.
Nice. Good suggestion, brother.
Mm.
Let's keep it moving and go into the bucket pool movie.
Hey.
It's actually kind of weird, kind of a blessing in disguise that I didn't record the audio properly. Kind of not really. We had a solution for it already, but but I actually forgot to watch the bucket pool movie this week, and I had to find time to watch it today in between my busy day today. And I was able to watch it. So, but last week we reached into that giant head of Galactus, and Galactus heralded us. What's the movie called again? It's What's Inside.
It's What's Inside.
It's What's Inside, which sounds like a very interesting title, right? You can maybe guess what was inside, but I'm telling you, you're not going to guess it because it was just that kind of movie. What did you think about this movie, brother?
I like this movie. Like I said, I watched it at work. So I don't think it's the most ideal way to watch the movie since they're going inside of each other's bodies and kind of hard to keep track of who is who. But no, it was good. You kind of see the twist coming, but like it's not super predictable. So I don't think so. But it was fun. It was interesting. It was different. I'm glad I watched it.
Yeah,
it was good.
Nice. Yeah, I really liked this movie. I thought it was a lot of fun. It has a 6.6 rating here on IMDb, but I don't think it deserves that. I think it's actually a bit of deserves a bit of a higher rating.
I would agree.
It was a very fun movie, and it was very interesting. It brought up a very interesting concept and idea, which is pretty much the same concept and idea that they had in Scooby-Doo. Where they all switch bodies.
Yeah.
But it just takes that concept and utilizes it to the max. And I like it. I liked it a lot. I liked its use of color with all the greens when they're like kind of showing what's on the outside, and then all the reds when they're showing what's on the inside. So the use of color and the cinematography was really awesome, and the lighting was awesome. And and everybody in this movie is a shitty person, and it made everybody feel very real. Like all the characters feel very realistic. They're all very flawed. And when you have a bunch of flawed characters and they're switching bodies, like shit's bound to happen. You know what I mean? And it was a little plot twisty at the end, but like you said, it wasn't too predictable. Like spoilers here, people, and you're not going to want to hear the spoiler if you're going to watch this movie. So skip maybe 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes, actually 3 minutes ahead. Then when they revealed that it was his sister that did the whole thing, I didn't see that coming at all.
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
Like you knew it was Forbes messing with him the whole time. You're like, oh shit, it's not actually Forbes.
Right, exactly. So that threw me for a loop. And I was actually like, and I knew his sister or Forbes had switched all the things around at the very end to make it the way he wanted, because he was the master chess player the whole time, and they were just his little pawns that he was fucking with. So I knew when he got on the machine the very last minute and switched things up, that things were not going to end up the way anybody wanted it. You know what I mean? It was going to end up the way Forbes wanted it, but who knew what Forbes wanted? You know what I mean? So I knew that much, but so and for a second I thought the movie was going to end a bit too ambiguous, where it's just like, you just have to guess who's in whose body now. And I was like, no, don't end that way. And it didn't. It gave me all the answers at the end, and I liked that. That was really nice. So it wrapped it up a nice little bow for me, so that my little brain can digest it, and I loved that.
When they first started doing the body switching, I had the idea. It's like, what if someone dies? I didn't think they were actually going to do that until the scene when like they're up on the roof and like, oh, they're doing it.
Yeah, bro, what do you like? And it's that guy's technically it's his house. Like is owned by his mother, who was like a really interesting like artsy person. That's why they have all this random shit in the house. But like,
Yeah.
you would think, bro, like, this house is like old and crusty and breaking apart. Why would you invite this girl who you're trying to bone up there to bone up there? You know what I mean? And then on the edge,
Yeah.
But then I was thinking about it and I was like, you know what? They're all kind of acting a little bit reckless as soon as they switch bodies. And I was like, you know what? That makes sense. So with them being shitty people and they switch bodies, right? Now you're no longer in your own body. You don't have really any agency for what happens to this body that you're in now. You're like, oh, I could just
Yeah.
kind of do whatever the fuck I want. And then when I go back to my body, I don't have to deal with the repercussions. Right. So it's kind of like they're just like, fuck it. And they start like being shitty, like extra shitty when they
Yeah.
switch bodies. You know what I mean? Kind of not really taking
Yeah.
precautions that they probably normally would if they were in their actual body.
I think it's crazy how they played the game. Like when he explained it to that to guess who was in whose body, I thought they would all like sit around and ask questions and figure out who's who. Well, they just get up, start walking around, doing other things around the house. Like
the first round, it seemed like that's kind of what they did. They're like, okay, you're this person,
Yeah.
right? But then the second round, I think they all kind of wanted to remain mysterious. So they're like, just kind of start doing their own thing and wandering around the house and stuff.
that would make me so nervous. Like someone else is walking around in my body doing I don't know what. Like I would like try to figure out who's in my body and just be around them the whole
Yeah.
time. Like, you're not doing anything.
Yeah. It was really cool. It was very like modern whodunit. It was I love the way it was edited. I feel like nowadays like there's not movies that get made that are more like set in a modern time. That I feel like they have a hard time dealing with the social media aspect of life because social media and phones govern so much of our daily lives. Like you look at anybody on the street, I guarantee you they're probably looking at their phone. You know what I mean? Like it's such a part of our lives nowadays, and people don't really know how to work that into film very well. They've been trying different ways for a little while now, with like putting the text up on screen and stuff like that, so you can see what they're saying. It's hard because it's not that interesting, right? Like it's not.
Okay.
Like it's way more interesting to set your movie in the past where like you don't have to deal with the smartphones thing because then
Yeah.
you don't have to figure out a way to edit that in. But this movie, I think it does it really well, and I think it does it in a way that Gen Zers could actually enjoy the movie. Like it's very fast paced, and that you know how they need like Minecraft or something on the side, or they need they need a little guy jumping or something so they can focus. Which I liked, by the way. Which I liked the joke that Conan made. Conan was taking jabs at Gen Z the whole night at the Oscars.
Yeah.
I loved that. But yeah. But in this movie, I think they edit all that in really well. Like especially with that one lady who's kind of like a social media person. She's like, what do they call them? An influencer. Like all the editing with the text on the bottom of the screen and doing the split screen between people and like kind of jumping back and forth between all these very like stylized edits of the movie was very cool. I liked it.
Awesome.
Is there anybody in this movie you were rooting for, Eric?
Not really.
Yeah, that's what I was
honestly.
saying. They're all shitty. Yeah. They all
kinda
fucking suck. I was so frustrated with the two characters that didn't want to switch back.
Oh yeah.
I was like, bro, what the fuck? Like, that's crazy, dude. Yeah. Like
That would be so crazy for the people whose bodies like died.
right, for sure.
You
And
know,
like
to see that.
right, and that's totally understandable. But like you would like if my friend came to me and was like, "Hey man, can I have my body back?" I'd be like, "Yeah, sure, bro."
Right,
Regardless
like
of
I
what
would be
happened to
stuck in
my
someone else's
actual
body no matter what.
Like if my body died and I was in my friend's body and my friend was like, "Hey, can I have my body back?" I'd be like, "Okay." Like I wouldn't even think about. I'd be like, "All right, I got you, bro." Like
Yeah. It's like,
But this
no,
guy
you
was-
have a better life than me, so I'm going to keep your body.
Exactly. That's what his reaction was. It was just insane. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Very, very cool recommendation from Brandon, huh?
Yeah.
And I'm actually kind of upset as to why I like that I haven't heard of this movie up until this point. Like it came out
Mm-hmm.
2 years ago. I guess
Like a couple
I guess
years
it's
ago?
not that long ago, but still, I feel like
Mhm.
I didn't hear anything about this movie.
Yeah, I remember I saw the trailer, but I didn't hear a whole lot about it.
Yeah, I didn't like. It feels like it got swept under the rug or something.
Yeah. Maybe Netflix just didn't believe in it.
Yeah, I thought it was fun. Y'all should go check it out. It was really cool.
Yeah, definitely. If you like games like Secret Hitler and Werewolf,
Mm-mm.
watch a movie. They actually mention those
They
games.
do, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool beans. You have anything else
Cool.
for what's inside? It's what's inside.
I do not.
Cool. Right on. Well, let's move on then to
All right.
the bucket pool.
Let's pull something. All right. Will morality turn. Tell us the lesson that we must learn.
Yeah.
I was just watching some Animaniacs.
Nice.
All right. What do we get? That's a long one. Maybe not so long. The title's not long. I think the movie's long.
What is it?
Tombstone.
Oh my gosh. Right on. Natalie's been begging me to watch this movie for like years now, I feel like. So she's gonna be very happy about this.
Cool.
Right on. You seen it, Eric, or no?
I have not seen it.
Nor have I. This shall be fun.
It's Western, right?
Yeah, good old Western. Not an Eastern.
Yeah. Those are good too.
I
Though.
like
those,
the Easterns. I'm more of an Eastern guy, I think.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's move on to what we've been watching. And yeah, what have you been watching, Eric?
Yeah. What have I been watching? Let's try to remember what I was. Watch Ted.
That's right.
Said I've been meaning to mention that, but I keep forgetting. Yeah, new season Ted. Pretty good. It's a lot of fun. If you like the movies or the first season, and you like the second season. And I really liked the third episode, which was a Dungeons and Dragons themed episode. Yeah,
Super cool.
A lot of fun. Mm-hmm.
You said something about them moving forward with an animated show or something?
Yeah, so this season is the last season, and they are going to be doing an animated show. And the actors from the movie are coming back to voice their characters. So Mark Wahlberg and Amanda Seyfried are coming on to do the animated series.
Right on. Very cool.
Yeah. And I want to say there was another show I had been watching. Oh, Invincible. I watched
Oh, nice. I need to watch those.
3 new episodes of Invincible, and they're pretty good.
Need to watch those.
Yep. Second episode is a Nolan and Alan the Alien episode.
Oh yeah,
which is really cool.
For that.
I love Alan the Alien. So any time he's in it, it's always a lot of fun. And then the third episode, things start to get like pretty crazy. So, yeah, check it out. If you're a fan of Invincible, I'm sure you have already seen these episodes. And if you haven't, get on it.
I need to get on it.
And then the last thing I watched, well, actually, there's one more thing I watched since I watched something today, but I watched Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze.
Nice.
For its 35th anniversary.
Very nice.
A lot of fun. Love the Turtles. Always great to see them. It was cool to see this movie in the theater on the big screen. And I'm sure I did when I was younger, but I was 3 when that movie was released. So definitely would not have remembered that. And yeah, there was a interview with Kevin Eastman before the movie, and they showed like little snippets of this short that they made, which was a live action turtle fighting the foot, and he kind of looked like the last Ronin. It's pretty cool.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
Yeah. Mhm.
That'd be sweet. Last Ronin
yeah.
would be sweet.
Yeah, it would. They need to make it. I heard they canceled it because they were going to do it, but I think they are still trying to get it done. So I don't know what exactly is happening.
Fingers crossed.
Hoping it happens. Yeah, today, since I didn't have much to do, was I watched A Few Good Men for the first time.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah. Have you ever seen it?
No, I haven't.
Good movie. Rob Reiner directed. Rest in peace, Rob Reiner.
Yeah.
And yeah, stars Tom Cruise, Demi Moore, Jack Nicholson.
Oh, that's the You Can't Handle the Truth, yeah?
That's the
okay,
one.
I think I have seen the movie. Actually.
It's You Want Answers? I think I'm entitled.
Yeah, I have seen this movie actually. It's been a
It's
while
like,
though.
You want answers?
Yeah.
I want the truth.
Yeah,
You can't handle the truth.
Yeah. Jack Nicholson says that line so well.
Yeah, it's such a good movie. But yeah, that scene alone,
yeah,
amazing.
Yeah,
yeah, good movie.
I should rewatch it. It's been a long time. I think I watched it on TV forever ago.
Yeah, I had never seen it. I've obviously seen that scene
yeah,
because it's referenced so much.
Yeah, right on.
That's everything I've been watching.
Cool. I finally was able to watch Zootopia 2. I really liked it. It's not as good as the first one, but it's still good. It's a lot of fun. It's kind of a roller coaster. I like the all the movie references. I like that they leaned hard into the Silence of the Lamb reference, and they had the Shining reference, which is also cool. And I like the rhythm of the movie. It was like fast paced. It kind of opens up with very fast paced, like they're like following up on a hunch, and then it gets really fast paced, and then it slows down. It gives you some more context of this new story they're embarking on, some mystery aspects of it. It gets really fast paced again, and then it slows down, and et cetera, et cetera. It keeps doing that over and over again, and it's fun. But yeah, very cool movie. Liked it a lot. Yeah, I don't remember what else I watched. I think that was it. I was very busy this week. Oh, and then I was I've been watching Dragon Ball Z again. Almost done.
Dragon.
Rock the Dragon, which isn't on any of the episodes in Crunchyroll. They have the yeah, that was Rock the Dragon was just a Toonami thing.
Yeah,
which very cool, by the way. Like,
yeah.
But yeah, I'm in the Boo saga right now. I'm almost done because Vegito just got done fighting the Buhan, I guess, as people would call him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's where I'm at right now. Excited to finish all of it because then I can officially say I've seen every single episode of Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, I think that's it as far as what I've been watching.
Awesome.
You want to talk about what's coming out? What we're looking forward to?
Yes.
Talking
about the trailer that dropped.
Yeah.
Or
well, Daredevil's coming out. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, Daredevil.
It comes out in a couple of days.
You were saying you didn't know that Jessica Jones was coming back.
And yeah, I didn't know Jessica Jones was coming back until he told me, and now I'm more excited.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Yeah, always fun to have Kristen Ritter around.
Oh yeah, very beautiful lady. And then, of course, the trailer that dropped for the new Spider-Man movie.
Yes, I am very excited.
Me too.
I'm sure most of you know, I am a huge Spider-Man fan.
Big on the Spider-Man.
I've been most of my life.
Yeah.
But no, it looks awesome. The day before the trailer was released, they had influencers and content creators from all over the world that are fans of Spider-Man introducing very small clips from the trailer. They did that all day, and I was following that closely. And then they released the trailer, and that was just amazing. Yeah, I'm super excited for this film.
Samesies.
Oh.
Samesies.
Yeah.
They got Scorpion in it. They got the Punisher
They got Scorpion,
in it.
Frank Castle. Yeah. Bruce Banner. And he's Bruce Banner again. He's not Professor Hulk or whatever
Hell
you want to
yeah.
call him, Smart Hulk.
Get out of here, Smart
Although
Hulk.
I call Smart Hulk Dumb Hulk.
Yeah. Nerfed Hulk.
Yeah. I either want Hulk or Bruce Banner. I don't want them
in between
together like that. It's they're two different people.
Agreed.
Yeah, I'm excited. You see him fighting some ninjas at the end, which I don't know if that's the Hand, in which case is Daredevil going to show up?
Daredevil might be in it. And he was in the last one, so it wouldn't be a far-fetched thing, I don't think.
It would be super cool to see Spider-Man and Daredevil on screen together.
Hell yeah.
We had Peter and Matt together on screen already, but like to have them
suited up
in action would be cool.
Pretty fucking sweet.
Yeah. And then him waking up in like the spider webs.
Oh, snap.
I think he's definitely going to be turning into a giant spider.
Or at least get some extra limbs.
The man spider. Yeah. I think that's why he's going to Bruce Banner to talk to him about that. But yeah, I think it's cool. It only makes sense because he wished that everyone forget who he was, and so he doesn't have any friends or family. And so I think he's losing his like humanity.
Yeah.
He's losing a sense of himself in his identity as Spider-Man, and the spider is taking over.
Oh yeah, baby. It's gonna get crazy. It's gonna get weird.
Yeah. It's gonna get weird. Comics get weird, people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That reminds me of when we did Fantastic Four, and we were talking about Susan Storm's all her adventures, you know.
Yeah, her entanglements.
Yeah, exactly. But all right, right on. Let's move on. I'm very excited for Spider-Man. Let's move on to final thoughts.
Final thoughts.
You have any final thoughts for Project Hail Mary?
Yes, I just have to think of them. And I have lots of thoughts on Project Hail Mary because I'm a big fan of the book. I love the movie.
I will say something actually. I want to say that I really like that in a lot of stories, they're kind of based in Joseph Campbell's a hero's journey, and within the hero's journey, the character is presented with an inciting incident in which he at first denies to go on the adventure, and then by some kind of force of destiny, he is pushed into this story and this adventure, and he has to do it. But that's usually in the beginning of the story. That's like in the first act, right? But in this story, Andy Weir actually flips that whole idea and kind of waits to give you that information, and spoilers, and waits to give you that information at the end, right? Where he doesn't tell you that he didn't really want to go on this this journey, you know, and he was forced into it by literally a bunch of people forcing him into a coma to go into this journey into space. And yeah, I think it's cool. I think it's cool that he put that at the end rather than the beginning. And I think it means a lot more when you find when Rocky is trying to tell him that he's brave, and he's having a hard time accepting that compliment because he didn't want to come on this journey. He was not supposed to go on this mission. Yeah, I think very, very well written story is all I'm trying to say, I guess.
It is, and yeah, like I was saying, Strat calls him a coward, and he didn't want to be on the mission, and so he finds his bravery when he has to ultimately sacrifice him going back to Earth in order to save Rocky, because the Talmiba that they bred, which was nitrogen resistant, also was able to hide inside Xenonite and get through Xenonite. And Rocky's ship is made entirely of Xenonite, so his astrophage was at risk, and he needed to go
his whole
save him.
spacecraft was at risk, huh? His life was at risk.
Yeah, so he had to go save his buddy, or his Rocky, and probably his people were gonna be wiped out of existence. So yeah, he did the right thing, and he helped his friend, which was cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
My friend Randall had asked me after the movie was over, and he's like, "What would you have done? Would you have gone back?" And I was like, when that moment happened, I thought to myself, like, well, what would I do? You know what I mean? And I feel like most people kind of would consider what they would do in that situation. And in my mind, I honestly didn't know. I didn't realize that he could just send the Talmiba back in the pods. Like I knew he was in the mission. Yeah. He was gonna send back something, but I thought he was just gonna send back information on how to save the planet. I didn't realize he was gonna send back actual physical stuff to them. You know what I mean? So in my mind, I was like, well, he has to go back home because how else is he gonna deliver the Talmiba? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then once I seen him like strapping, not really strapping, but inserting the Talmiba into the pods and like getting ready to deliver them, I was like, oh, okay. In that case, yeah, hell yeah, I'd go back. You know what I mean? Like, without a doubt, bro. Like, send that shit back to the homies and I just back to Earth and go save the homie, you know?
Yeah, the Beatles, the probes that he sent back. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they kind of don't really tell you, like, they're there. You see them and they send them off. But in the book, they were made by this guy who's obsessed with the Beatles. That's why he named him that. And I do like that they used the Beatles song in the movie. And then, but in the book, when all that happens with the Talmiba, since they had the probes that had extra astrophage on them, they actually used that astrophage. So they only ended up sending, like, I want to say one probe back to Earth, but they might have sent two. But they were able to salvage astrophage from them in order to save themselves.
That's fair. Yeah, that makes sense. I was wondering too, like, because when I saw all those pods getting sent back, I was like, well, these pods are using astrophage too, and he was like talking about how he doesn't have a lot of astrophage. But then I was like, well, I guess if you consider like the mass and like how big the pods are, maybe they don't need as much astrophage to go all the way back, and consider like in comparison to like his whole ship, you know. So maybe there wasn't enough astrophage in the pod to like send the ship back, you know, or whatever. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, the ship basically only had enough to get them there, pretty much.
Right.
And the pods, they were able to travel faster. One, because they were lighter, and also they didn't have, humans inside that they were trying to keep alive.
Oh, true. Yeah, they could send them as fast as they want, huh?
Yeah,
that makes sense.
And also, they kind of skip over this in the movie, but the Iridians, they didn't understand radiation, which is why his entire crew died. Because since he's the engineer, he was near the astrophage, and the astrophage like insulated him. But the rest of his people had no idea what was going on, and they didn't know why they got sick.
Right.
And they also didn't know about time dilation, which is why Rocky had extra astrophage. Because they, figured out how much they needed, but they didn't realize due to time dilation that there was going to be a time difference, so they didn't actually need as much.
Okay. Makes sense. Which is why Rocky probably realizes after hanging out with Rylan or whatever, because he probably taught him some things, and then Rocky probably realized, oh well, I have extra, and he's like, I can just give it to you, bro. You go back home.
Yeah. Yeah, I like their conversations they have when they're talking about science and stuff, because Rocky's an engineer,
Yeah,
and Ryland's a scientist,
yeah,
and they each have their own like specialty. But Rocky's really funny because he is impatient,
yeah,
because I think he can like thinks kind of faster than a human,
yeah.
and so he's always on Ryland about how his math is bad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like how he called him dumb multiple times in the movie.
Yeah, he calls him dumb a lot. Yeah, but I like how excited he gets too, and like he says things in threes. Like everything they kind of do is in threes. So it's funny.
Yeah, he's awesome. I love Rocky.
I feel like there was something else I wanted to say. I don't remember now.
Was it about Ryan Gosling's hair being flawless in this movie throughout the whole movie?
No.
Did he have like highlights?
I did like his T-shirts that he wore in the movie.
Oh yeah, where did I get some of those?
My favorite one was the one that said, "I had potential."
I like that.
I like that shirt a lot, and then I like just the Project Hail Mary shirt that he had too. That was cool.
Oh yeah. I don't know if I got anything. I'm also really tired.
Oh,
what's up?
Yeah, I'm tired too. The end, when he's on, I think Rocky's planet is called Iridium 3 or something like that. I don't know, but when he's there and they make that little dome for him and that little beach, which I don't think the beach is in the book, but it's still cool. He survives by eating cloned meat.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're telling me.
Yeah, when he first gets there, he's surviving off of Talmiba because he can't eat Iridian food because of all the heavy metals that are poisonous to humans. And so, he's eating the Talmiba, and then the scientists find a way to clone his muscles. So he eats what he calls me burgers. And that's what he eats to survive.
That's pretty gnarly, yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
In the book, also, he's a little older. I want to say 16 years had passed, and due to the heavy gravity, his bones are deteriorating.
Oh man!
So he has to walk with a cane. Yeah.
Dang.
Which is more crazy that he doesn't want to leave.
I know, right? I was like, okay, maybe because I remember we were talking about it last night. I was like, I don't know. He's kind of got a good setup. He's got a beach. He's teaching kids. He's he's got a nice house, nice little crash pad.
Yeah.
But then you told me about the me burgers, and then right now with the gravity, I'm like, damn, yeah, I just go home, bro.
Just go home. Your soul, as they call it in the movie, it was back to full luminosity. So Earth was saved. They fixed it. Yeah. Do you like that he's a teacher? In the book, I said, I don't know if you really see it. He might have been there with all his stuff, but in the book, he has like an organ kind of instrument that he uses to teach the kids.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Which I thought was cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right on. I think my brain's checking out. So
yeah.
Anything else before we go?
That's all I got.
Yeah.
Project Hail Mary.
Hey, that was our episode, guys. See you later. No, that's kidding.
See you.
Bye. No, write down in the comments any movies you guys want us to watch. We'll put it in the bucket, and we might watch your movie. So we love you guys. Thanks for supporting us. You guys are the best. We'll be here next week, and forever and ever, and every week after that. Okay.
Okay.
Love you guys. Bye.
See you. Bye.